Elle and welcome back to my channel, and thank you so much for being here. I hope you all are having a fantastic day. Alright, so we're going to get into an ingredient here that I feel like is just misunderstood and we need to chat about it. So before we get started, hit the subscribe button, share this video with somebody you think might like it, and let's do it. Alright, we're talking about vitamin C today. The reason why I want to break this down, I did do a video on the different forms of vitamin C, I think maybe a year ago, maybe a little bit over a year ago, and it really breaks down each individual form that was out there and that is out there. So if you want to go back and review that, go ahead. But in today's video, I kind of want to break a couple myths that I've been seeing a ton online about vitamin C. Okay, so the first one, and also too, if you guys are on my community tabs page, and you submitted one of the brands for me to talk about, most of your wishes have been granted. Okay, we're gonna break down the brands too, so stay to the end because you gotta hear out all these different types. All right, so first of all, vitamin C. Vitamin C is not a miracle ingredient, okay? It's not gonna suddenly fade away all of your hyperpigmentation, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, all of that good stuff, melasma. It does have the potential to brighten them, absolutely, but it is really there as an essential building block into a solid routine. So we always say the ABCs of skincare, C being one of the essentials of a great skincare routine. It is there as an antioxidant, so it's just like your food. Whenever you eat really great antioxidant-rich food, it protects our body from oxidization. That's the same thing on our face. It's protecting our face from environmental aggressors, pollutions, and all of those types of things on our skin. Now, you have to be consistent with it, A. B, you have to try to find the right formula that works for you, okay? And most of them on the market consist of one type, which is L-ascorbic acid, okay? So that might not be good for you. That might not be the right one because maybe you might be too sensitized to it. It might be too unstable, so we'll talk about that. But 3, it's really making sure that you're not expecting like this whole life-changing thing from vitamin C. Yes, absolutely, like we said, it can have the potential to lighten up hyperpigmentation, but it really is there as a protectant. It's really there as an essential step into a good skincare routine. When we're talking about these kind of different formulas, when we're talking about the mainstream form of vitamin C, which is called L-ascorbic acid or ascorbic acid, that is honestly what most companies use. A, because there's just a ton of research done using this ingredient. I mean, it's been around forever. B, it is one of the cheaper ingredients, and it's just kind of become a standard that that's what most vitamin C's are using. Now, I will talk to you about more in general terms. If you are going to look on an ingredient list and L-ascorbic acid or just ascorbic acid is on the ingredient list, I would say 90% of the time, most of those products are all the same. I know that's annoying. Sorry if you hear my daughter in the background. They just got home from the zoo with my mother-in-law and father-in-law. Okay, so the reason why I say they're basically all the same is just honestly the truth. So Maylove is a very similar version of the Skinceuticals Holy Grail ferulic acid vitamin C serum. Please don't spend your money on Skinceuticals because they're basically the same. Timeless is very much the same as the rest of the ones I just mentioned. It is very common to have ferulic acid with vitamin C and with vitamin E, and what that's to do is to stabilize L-ascorbic acid. This is the problem with it, is that it is super, super, super unstable and oxidizes very, very quickly. So it's really a shelf life of maybe 3 months when you open it and maybe 6 months when it's not opened. It's just an unstable ingredient, and so yes, I have been known to use L-ascorbic based serums, but it's not my first choice, and we'll get to it. So for example, when we're talking about like Glow Maker, where's I have all these like notes written up from you guys, just I wanted to make sure I was on point. So Skinceuticals, Glow Maker, Drunk Elephant, really Timeless, they really are basically the same. They might have a few tweaks in and out of there, but nothing notable and nothing that should sway you one way or the other to buy one or the other, okay? So when we're talking about Timeless, again, it's L-ascorbic acid based. It does have propylene glycol in it, which it can be an allergen for quite a bit of people, so just keep that in mind. And another one people asked me about was Paula's Choice Vitamin C Booster. It is 15% L-ascorbic, or just ascorbic acid. The reason why sometimes this, one of our squad members said it doesn't go great under makeup, A, because you might be using too much. It's only like 2 to 3 drops. B, you also just might need to be using it at night, but it also might have just more emollient ingredients. The ingredient list on that one is really long with a lot of PEGs in there, PEGs, and so that can interact with, you know, makeup. These are all water soluble vitamin C's, and this is important, and we talk about this in the down the road. I got asked about Tatcha's vitamin C. It's 20% vitamin C, which is it's a different type of vitamin C. This one's really interesting, and I have a tendency to favor this quite a bit. It's called bisglycerol ascorbate, which is a hydrosoluble, so it means a water soluble, moisturizing ascorbic acid. It's binding ascorbic to glycerin, so it's higher permeability and more stable, so compared to other forms of ascorbic acid. So it's not going to turn orange or anything like that. And it's also kind of a double duty because it has lactic acid in it, which I think is just such a beautiful nighttime serum. And somebody asked me about this one. I've never heard of Photozyme MD. I think it's a more UK-based company, and it has 15% L-ascorbic acid. It's very similar to Timeless, but I think the price point was like $99. So just a heads up on that, but very, very similar. Geek and Gorgeous Sea Glow. It has 15% ascorbic acid, has a really low pH, which is pretty good usually. It didn't wow me, but I didn't see anything in there that would cause me any kind of concern. It's just, again, it's L-ascorbic acid, so I don't know why I would be paying a lot more for certain serums when you could just go get Glow Maker or something else that would be equally, you know, good. Okay, so this is where we will come to when we talk about Truth Treatment's vitamin C. This is one of my preferred forms of vitamin C, which is called Tetra Hexadexal Ascorbate. This is a lipid fat-soluble vitamin C. So just so you know, our skin has a lot of oils, and that is fat on our skin, basically. So this type of vitamin C is better absorption, besides L-ascorbic acid. So this is going to have your skin to be able to absorb it a lot better. It is not drying, and you only need 2 to 3 drops on that. It is not sensitizing. You're not going to have an issue with that. You should be using this, though, 2 times a day, so morning and night. And this form of vitamin C is actually more collagen stimulant than L-ascorbic acid. So vitamin C also is obviously protected, what we said, but it also, vitamin C is there to increase collagen production. This is more effective in that area. Again, it's highly stable. The skin converts Hexadexal ascorbate into ascorbic acid. So just so you know, it does do the transition to the right form of vitamin C. It has much better penetration, like we said. Okay, and then we're going to go to the Ordinary. This one's really hard for me because there are so many different forms, so I'm just going to kind of pull out a few that I thought were good. I really liked the Ordinary. It's a Ascorbate tetramethyl palmate, and it's another oil-soluble vitamin C. It is extremely stable, and it is one of the other preferred forms of vitamin C as well. And it is, the only thing you can't use with this form of vitamin C is niacinamide. So if you use vitamin C in the morning, use your niacinamide at night. I do also like their ascorbyl glucoside solution. It's water-based, it's very stable. And then they also have ethyl ascorbate acid in their one of those, it's in the title, and this is extremely stable. The only problem I see is they call it the next gen of vitamin C because it has potential for more brightening. So you might want to try that form of vitamin C if you don't want to go for the Truth Treatments one, because that is also known for extreme brightening power. And then the last couple ones I wanted to note is that Revision's Vitamin C Lotion 30%. What was I going to say here, though? Oh, there's other ones here that I was going to talk about. Oh, The other problem, sorry, I'm backing up so much, is L-ascorbic acid, when it's formulated too high up, like 20%, it's a little high and can be sensitizing. So you want more around 10%, 15%, and then that's a more comfortable range if you are going to go for L-ascorbic acid. Okay, so the Revisions Vitamin C Lotion, 30%, but it's 30% because it's the same version as in Truth Treatments. So it's the Hexadexal Ascorbate, just like Truth Treatments. It's, I really like this one a lot, because it's more of a lotion, so it can be used right before SPF instead of your moisturizer, and it's a really potent form of this vitamin C, but it also has CoQ10 in it. So they really do a nice pairing together. So Revisions has always been a great product. Now, Good Molecules came out with their vitamin C powder. I am not a fan of vitamin C powders because they can be extremely aggressive on the skin if you put too much on it. It is a powder in L-ascorbic acid. The reason why they're doing that is because obviously L-ascorbic acid in a powder, it can't be, it can't go bad. I mean, it can, but it can't go bad as fast as something else would. So what you do is you put it in a little hyaluronic acid and you put it on your face or in your essence. Dime Beauty, I've talked about that one before. It's just a basic vitamin C. It's good. It's ascorbic acid. I've never had it turn on me. And then somebody asked me about Glow Recipe C Dark Spot. This I was really interested in. I have not seen this one yet. It has 5 different forms of vitamin C. Obviously it has L-ascorbic acid, but also magnesium ascorbate, as well as ethyl ascorbic acid, which is that next gen vitamin C. So it's very interesting. So if you check that out, let me know what you think. I have half a mind to actually buy that and try it out. It's very interesting. So thank you for bringing my attention to that. And then somebody did ask about ELF's. Their vitamin C, I think, looks pretty darn good. And it is made with a really great form of vitamin C, which is the ethyl ascorbic acid. There's just no percentage, and they just don't tell you anything about it, really. The ingredients are not very clear. So I just don't know how effective that product would be. I would go with the Ordinary with that one. It's very similar price points. So I know that there was a bunch of other ones on the list. Actually, not a bunch. I think maybe I missed 2 or 3. So I'm sorry I couldn't cover them all, but this is a lot of research. But I just kind of want to let you know the different forms that I recommend. And so when you're looking at the ingredients, it's going to have to do a little detective work. You're going to have to look into actually reading the ingredient list and seeing where that vitamin C falls. It should be either the first, actually after water, or like glycerin, or some form of starter. It should be like second or third, maybe even fourth-ish. You want it at the top because it needs to be the most front forward facing ingredient so you can get the most bang for your buck. So it's time for you to be a little bit about a detective when we're talking about vitamin C, and unfortunately you're going to have to try different forms of vitamin C. So kind of rounding this out is that I would really recommend looking into Hexadexal Ascorbate. It's really an amazing vitamin C. See which formulas fit your price point. And then also too, if I was to go second, then I would try the Ordinary Ascorbyl Trena Isopalmitate, I think I'm saying that right, or the ethyl ascorbic acid from the Ordinary. That is where I would go. All right, thank you all so much for being here, and I'll see you on the next one. Lots of love from me to you. Bye, loves.